Hello and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you all the latest news and updates from the country and the world in just 30 minutes. Let's begin. India's President Draupadi Murmu addressed the joint sitting of the Parliament and congratulated all newly elected members of the Parliament. Noting that India has risen from the 11th position to become the 5th largest economy, President Draupadi Murmu also said that the upcoming budget for 2024-25 will unveil major economic reforms and present a roadmap for Viksit Bharat. As proceedings of the upper house of the Indian Parliament began on Thursday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi introduced his Council of Ministers in the Rajya Sabha. Union Health Minister and Bharatiya Janata Party Chief J.P. Nadda has been appointed as the leader of Upper House by Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has hailed the rising visibility of Indian universities on global stage. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also highlighted the government's commitment to quality education and providing opportunities for growth and innovation. Lieutenant Governor of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Admiral D.K. Joshi, called upon Prime Minister Narendra Modi. During his call, he congratulated Prime Minister Modi on his historic third consecutive term as the Prime Minister. Army Chief General Manoj Pandey flagged off a pan-India motorcycle expedition on Thursday, marking the 25th anniversary of Indian victory over Pakistan in Kargil War of 1999. Indian Air Force contingent that participated in Red Flag exercise in Alaska earlier this month flew back to India on Thursday. On their way back, the Indian Air Force conducted air war drills with the Egyptian and Greek Air Forces. Nation paid tributes to the legendary military leader Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw on his death anniversary. Maharashtra Assembly's monsoon session commences on Thursday. The ruling Mahayuti alliance will present the state budget in both the houses of the legislature on 28th of June. The National Investigation Agency conducted extensive searches on Thursday at the premises of various suspects and overground workers of the banned Naxal outfit in Jharkhand's West Singhbhum district. 3 terrorists were gunned down during an encounter with security forces in a forest area in Jammu and Kashmir's Doordarshan district on Wednesday. National Commission for Scheduled Caste Chairman Kishore Makwana met the families of Hooch tragedy victims in the Karunapuram area on Wednesday. 2-day national consultation on legal environment assessment for One Health activities in India was inaugurated on Thursday. The 3-day third annual Indian Space Congress 2024 underway in the national capital enters day 2. The event is dedicated to encourage Indian startups and space industry to form joint ventures with foreign markets. Central Bureau of Investigation on Thursday arrested 2 persons from Bihar's Patna in connection with the alleged irregularities in the NEET undergraduate exam. 1 person was killed and 3 others were injured after a car rolled down into a gorge in Jammu and Kashmir's Riyasi district on Thursday. On International MSME Day, Uttar Pradesh's Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath launched the Raising and Accelerating MSME Performance Scheme in Lucknow. Japan's government has vowed necessary action to defend the yen as the currency slid to its lowest levels since 1986. Sweden's central bank held its key interest rate at 3.75, saying that if inflation prospects remain the same, the policy rate can be cut 2 or 3 times during the second half of the year. India's leading IT services exporter, Infosys' CEO Salil Parekh has settled charges of violating provisions of insider trading, the country's market regulator has confirmed. U.S. National Transportation Safety Board is sanctioning Boeing for disclosing non-public details of the ongoing investigation into a 737 MAX mid-air emergency. Technology investor SoftBank is investing between $10 to $20 million in U.S. search startup Perplexity AI. The investment is part of a larger $250 million funding round. NASA has allotted Elon Musk's SpaceX $843 million to build a vehicle capable of pushing the International Space Station into Earth's atmosphere for its planned destruction around 2030. Nokia has agreed to sell its submarine networks business ASN to France for $374 million. The sale is expected to close at the end of 2024. H&M has cast doubts over its full-year profit margin target after missing quarterly earnings forecast and predicting a fall in June sales, sending shares in the fashion retailer down by almost 14%. International Monetary Fund completed a third review of Zambia's extended credit facility for a disbursement of about $570 million. Energy ministers of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization met in Kazakhstan with a focus on how resource-rich countries can effectively manage their assets. Kenyan police fired tear gas at protesters as demonstrations continued in several cities, even after the president bowed to pressure to withdraw a tax hike bill. Haitians are hopeful as a Kenyan-led peacekeeping mission began in the country that has been marred by gang violence. Bolivian government has said that the army under control of the coup attempt, a restive calm returned to the country after Bolivian armed forces pulled back from presidential palace. Bolivian government arrested the former commander of the army, Juan Jose Zuniga, on accusations of leading a coup attempt against President Luis Arce's government. A passenger train derailed in Russia's far northern Komi region, overturning carriages next to the rail bed and injuring 20 passengers. Russia has said it had repelled multiple attacks from Ukrainian army, while Ukraine claimed that it had fierce fighting with the Russian army on the front line over the past 24 hours. A Russian Navy missile cruiser has carried out drills in the Mediterranean Sea with a focus on repelling a mass sea drone attack. North Korea carries out a test aimed at developing missile carrying multiple warheads. The country said the test was carried out using a first-stage engine. Yemen's Houthi rebels released on a video of missiles that they say targeted a Liberian-flagged vessel Arabian Sea. Anti-government protesters have blocked highways across Israel. The protesters are calling on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to resign. Taiwan's government raised its travel warning for China following a threat from Beijing last week to execute those deemed die-hard Taiwan independence supporters. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Labour leader Keir Starmer clashed in their last head-to-head debate ahead of the 4th of July election. France's left-wing parties have united for the country's upcoming parliamentary election in an effort to block the far-right's path to power. Russian President Vladimir Putin gave a state award to his Congolese counterpart Denis Nguesso as the two met in Moscow. UK's King and Queen formally bid farewell to Emperor Naruhito and his wife Empress Masako of Japan on Thursday as they leave Buckingham Palace on the final day of their state visit. The US Supreme Court appears poised to allow abortions to be performed in Idaho state in cases of medical emergencies. Former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez was sentenced by a U.S. judge to 45 years in prison for his conviction on drug and firearm offences. An Argentine court began the trial against 3 individuals accused of attempting to assassinate former President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner. She was attacked in 2022. Spain's customs officer intercepted a submarine believed to be carrying drugs off the Spanish Cadiz coast. The operation ended with the arrest of 4 Colombian crew members. A significant milestone for International Solar Alliance as the Republic of Paraguay officially became its 100th full member. We're heading for a short break, but still to come on the other side, a lot of news from the country and the world. Stay tuned.
Nature also finds these uninvited guests quite unpleasant. Let's try to find out how to deal with these uninvited guests in the best way possible.
That you just add water to the container, and then there is a killing ingredient inside which ensures that those adults do not emerge out from that, so the force multiplier gets reduced.
The red fire ant. We need to take immediate action to prevent it from spreading further, so we can keep the red fire ant under control. The damage to agriculture is massive.
We're looking to develop pest control techniques that can be used on a large or small scale and on different plants.
Welcome back after that short break. Let's continue with Express News. At least 20 people have been killed in flash floods in Nepal in the last 2 days. Landslides swept away houses and blocked roads. Landslides triggered by floods wreaked havoc across northwestern Colombia, damaging homes and roads. No casualties have been reported so far. Heavy rains in Colombia also caused mudslides that has left 7 people missing. The mudslides have made it difficult for rescuers to reach affected areas. Dramatic video shows the moment a home toppled off a cliff into a river in the flood-hit U.S. state of Minnesota. Satellite images reveal significant erosion on a cliff face at the 114-year-old Rapidan Dam in Minnesota after heavy rain and flooding. Recovery efforts are underway in the U.S. state of New Mexico after it was ravaged by wildfires. At least 2 people have been killed and over 1,400 homes damaged. Without adequate shelter and supply of drinking water, homeless people in U.S.'s Oklahoma City have been struggling to escape severe heat wave. Temperatures in the city have soared to 37 degrees Celsius. A replica wax statue of former U.S. President Abraham Lincoln partially melted as mercury hit record high in Washington, D.C. Heavy rains bring respite from heat to the Indian capital of New Delhi and adjoining areas. The daytime temperature in the city came down to nearly 33 degrees Celsius. Villagers in Indonesia's East Java province pray at the edge of a volcano for rain as climate change threatens crops. Student ballet dancers glided along the banks of the river Thames on Wednesday to spark feelings of hope amid the accelerating pace of climate change. Dozens of fans from all over the world gathered to pay their tribute to pop icon Michael Jackson on his 15th death anniversary. Special flower arrangements from China, Ireland, Italy and Iran adorned the entrance to Forest Lawn's Great Mausoleum in California, where the music icon was laid to rest in 2009. 2 giant pandas from China started their journey to a zoo in the United States. Chinese panda experts will spend 3 months to help the pair fit into their new habitat. A 13-year-old boa constrictor gave birth to 14 snakelets without having mated. The Dubai Art Center, one of the city's oldest art institutions, hosts the Hunar exhibition that showcases Indian folk and tribal art. Hong Kong hosts an exhibition in honor of legendary architect Impey. His notable work include the pyramid at the Louvre Museum in Paris. Several churches and libraries in Egyptian city of Alexandria have opened their doors for students because of the continuous power cuts coinciding with their exams. A letter from Frank Kafka in which he tells a friend that he can no longer write is being offered at an auction 100 years after his death. Kafka, who is one of the 20th century's greatest writers, known for works such as The Trial and The Metamorphosis, wrote the letter to Austrian poet and publisher Albert Enderstein. The original cover artwork for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone sold for a record $1.9 million at an auction. The flowers of a lotus grown from a seed excavated from a layer of earth dating back about 200 years are in full bloom at an ancient Buddhist temple in Kyoto Prefecture, Western Japan. About 50 pots with pink and red blossoms are now on the show. The Siam tulips are blooming in full splendor at National Park in Thailand's Chayapum province. Tourists are gradually travelling to admire the beauty of Siam tulip fields, which are blooming once a year during the rainy season. Autonomous Vehicle Startup Project 3 mobility set up by Rimac Group presented its self-driving robo-taxi ahead of a planned launch in 2026. The startup expects that its electric vehicle Vern will be able to run urban robo-taxi services, complete with an app for consumers and a hub for charging, cleaning and maintenance, starting first in Croatia. Festival goers at the 5-day Glastonbury Music Festival enjoyed a sunny first day on Wednesday. The festival will feature artists including pop star Dua Lipa, K-pop group 17, R&B singer SZA and rock band Coldplay. K-pop rising star 17 were named by UNESCO its first ever global goodwill ambassadors for the youth. American comedian Anthony J. Slink is all set for his first ever performance in India and excited to bring his Bones and All tour. IFC Films dropped a tantalizing trailer of the upcoming thriller called Skincare, starring Elizabeth Banks in its lead role. Actor Ryan Gosling is set to produce upcoming zombie comedy film I Used to Eat Brains, Now I Eat Kale in collaboration with the Amazon MGM Studios. Netflix is all set to ignite screens with The Union, a thrilling spy film showcasing the explosive chemistry between Hollywood stars Halle Berry and Mark Wahlberg. Disney Plus has released a trailer of the much-anticipated film called Rival, starring David Tennant and Aidan Turner. Antenna Group has announced the prequel series to their groundbreaking Greek drama called The Witch. HBO's much-anticipated Harry Potter series has announced the names of its showrunner and director. Francesca Gardner will serve as the writer and showrunner, whereas Mark Mylord will direct multiple episodes. Paramount Plus has officially set the premiere date for the highly anticipated Season 2 of Tulsa King, starring Sylvester Stallone. Veteran American actor Bill Cobbs, who is known for his roles such as Louisiana Slim in the hitter Night at the Museum, has passed away aged 90. Makers of Varun Dhawan's starrer film Baby John has postponed the release date of the film and announced it to be a Christmas release now. After the song Maruri, makers of Akshay Kumar and Radhika Madan starrer Sarfira are all set to unveil the second song called Khudaya. And in ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup, South Africa breaks semi-final jinx, decimate Afghanistan in the first semi-final to reach their maiden World Cup final. Batting first, Afghanistan were bundled out for a paltry 56 runs. Proteas then chased down the target in 8.5 overs. Georgia made history at Euro 2024 with a 2-0 victory over Portugal to reach their first major tournament knockout stage. A stoppage time winner from Cenk Tosun saw Turkey beat Czech Republic by 2-1 in a fiery final group game to secure a last 16 tie against Austria. Romania finished top of Group E as they and Slovakia reached the last 16 at Euro 2024 with an entertaining 1-1 draw in Frankfurt. Belgium are through to the round of 16 after finishing as Group E runners-up with a 0-0 draw with Ukraine. Salomon Rondon struck a second-half penalty to send Venezuela into Copa America quarterfinals on Wednesday with a 1-0 victory over Mexico in Group E. Ecuador kept their hopes of qualifying for the Copa America quarterfinals alive with a 3-1 victory over Jamaica in Las Vegas. Spain defender Nacho became the latest big name in European soccer to move to the Saudi Pro League, joining newly promoted Al Qadsiya after a 23-year stay at Real Madrid. And Kate Campbell, Australia's most celebrated swimmer, has announced her retirement from the sport on Wednesday. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere. Keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.